All right, welcome to my first walkthrough, so we'll see how this goes. And today we're going to make a letterhead in the header part of a Word document. Now you can see where I've got some typing here, and you should have a headshot or an avatar. There's a sample one on Brightspace if you just want to use that instead. But it really shows you the area that the header is going to take up. It's above our typing here. So headers are great if you're making a PDF or sharing something online, working your letterhead in there. However, if you're going to be printing this or having a physical hard copy, people often will just keep their letterhead in the actual body of the page. So the first thing we're going to do is open a new just blank document, nothing fancy, and you're going to save it as a letterhead. Next, we want to click or activate the header area, and you have a couple ways to do that. You can double click up at the top of the page like this, and you'll see that the text in the body becomes gray and your cursor is in the header area. Another way to get it activated is to go to Insert tab, across to the header and footer group here. You're going to go up to header, hit the drop down menu, and you'll notice you see a lot of like templates that are quite nice if you're just adding titles and all that, but we're going to mess with our own, and we're going to go down to edit header. Same. With our cursor right where it is at the left side of the page, you're going to type your full name. I guess I'll call myself CS Prof to keep this general. And then after you have your full name in, you're going to hit tab once. That moves you to the center block of the header, and then tab again to move over to the right side. In this location, I'd like you to insert a date and time, or just a date actually, that automatically updates itself. So where I am, the tab I'm on is under header and footer tools. I cut that off, I shouldn't have. The design tab. So as you go across, and this is activated of course by being in the header, I see over, right here, date and time. I click on that, and we're gonna pick a short version, and I'm actually gonna move this up so you can see everything on the screen. There we are. Because if I do Monday, January 17th, 2022, that's gonna be really, really long. So pick something short and sweet, what other form you like, and then click update automatically. So that means if you open this document and start writing something a week from now, the date will be a week from now. And we're gonna say okay. And we see it appear on our right side of our header. Now I'm going to hit enter or return, and that's going to take me to the next line of my header, moving me back to my left side like this. You're going to give yourself a title. So if you're thinking in the future your website is going to be about your business, do that, like, proprietor or owner, whatever, and give yourself a name. I'm going to say that I am a word wizard, which is super not true, but I'll take it. We're going to add a border all the way across, like a bottom border for our header that separates the header from the body. So we're going to head over to our Home tab. Under the paragraph group, here's our borders and shading. We're going to click on the drop-down menu, and we're going to go all the way down. Oh, you can't see it. It's at the very bottom, but there's a border and shading thing, last option. Note to self. Okay, that's going to open up my borders and shading box. The first thing I want to check is to make sure it's applied to a paragraph and not just a text. So that will make it go all the way across the page. That's good. So now I'm going to play with the style, color, and width of my line, because a straight black line is pretty boring. Ooh, here's some good ones. Let's see, which one do I like the best? I think I like this crazy one. And it's putting it on all. I'll fix that in a second. Pick a color you like. I'm going for blue, and then pick a width. You can make it as wide or thin as you like. I'm going to thin mine down a little bit. Right now, if I hit OK, I would get that border all the way around my header, and I don't want that. I just want a bottom border. So I'm going to deactivate all the other areas just by clicking them to turn them off. And now I should see a bottom border only. Hopefully, let's hit OK. I want to add a picture of myself to this document, and I want it to be in the header. So just double checking. I mean, if the body's grayed out, you're still in the header. Make sure you're in the header. And then we're going to go up to insert, and we are going to insert picture, and I have one on this device. I've tried to grab a bit more of my screen so you can see what happens when I put in my picture. It kind of expanded my header to half the thing, and I'm going to need to resize it. So I'm going to head over to Picture Tools, Format, and I'm going all the way over to the right to change the size. Now, it depends on whether you're in inches or centimeters. I'm going to change the height, and I'm going to want, if I'm in inches, I want to make it about 0.6, which I am. So I'll change that to 0.6 inches. Come on, baby. If you're in centimeters, you can change it to about 1.5 centimeters. So when I hit out of the box, it's a much more reasonable size. Because the default wrapping of a picture will be in line, it makes everything look wonky. So I'm going to click on the box that changes the layout options right beside my picture. And I'm going to pick a text wrapping one, maybe tight, so I can move it nice and close without the words running away from you too much. And I'll see what that starts with. Okay, this is better. And then I'm going to position where I want. This is up to you. It can be in the middle, over to the side. See what you want, see what you think looks good. Maybe I will put my head right here. Next up, we're going to head back over to the Insert tab on the top. And my goal is to put in a shape of some kind, and we're going to mess around with that a bit. So I go to Illustrations group, Shapes, and I'm just going to pick something I like. There's no right or wrong with this. There's lots of stuff further down. I use the star, so I'm just going to use the star again, and I'm going to start by putting it in right here. The next part is just purely messing around. What do you want to make it look like? I don't want it to be that dark, so I'm going to make it a very pale blue. I'm going to mess with the outline. Maybe I'll make it a slightly darker blue, but not too dark, but maybe I'll make the outline heavier weight. And maybe I'll even go into Shape Effects, which is a pretty fun group. And I'm a huge fan of glow, so let's make our star glow. And let's make it have a yellow glow. Okay, that's pretty great. You can have just one star, or if you would like to make more, you can right-click and copy or Command-Control-C. Oh, almost lost it there. Okay, and paste a few around. Now that I have three, maybe I'll move them around a bit and change their size. So this really is just being silly. I want to see one of your stars behind the word. I guess I was going to say behind the word or behind the picture, but in this case it's definitely not going to be behind the picture because that'll get too busy. In order to move my picture behind my words, I'm going to go up. Oh, I don't even know my thing is. I'm going to go into my Drawing Tools tab, over to the right to hit Arrange, and then I can go to Send backwards or Bring forwards, Send behind text. So when I pull this star over, I should still see my words. And maybe I'll give that one a bit of a rotation too. Move my other ones over. However I want to have them. This one's a little thin. That's okay. Stretch it out a bit. There we go. Finally, I'd like to add a character effect to my name, which is CS Prof. So I'm going to highlight my name carefully. And then I'm going to head to the Home tab, which I'm already on, over to the Font group. I open the Font dialog box. Let's move this up a bit. Okay, so we're going to ignore the first tab. We're going to go to the Advanced tab. And what I want to do is change the character spacing. So you have two choices. You can change the scale to 200%, or you could change the spacing and hit expanded by 2 points. But we'll leave it at normal because we've changed the scale ourselves. And we can see the preview here. It's going to kind of spread my words out. There we go. So these are all the elements I need to see in your submission. And if you click out of the header, you can either under Design, hit Close Header, or just click into the body twice. it goes gray, and that shows you that you're back in the body. So make sure you look at the rubric to see exactly what I'm looking for full marks on this. If you've followed with me, you'll get them. I need the picture with resizing. I need your full name with character spacing. I need a shape and a graphic with fun effects. I need that bottom border and the automatically updating date. That's it.